Welcome to the Everything Actioncast, the official podcast of everythingaction.com.
Hello and welcome to the Everything Actioncast podcast for the week of May 15th, 2023. I'm your host, Zach.
And I'm your co-host, Chris.
And we have a ton of stuff this week. We have tons of trailers. We got big Disney attractions closing. We got video game news. We got all sorts of news. Chris, you and I saw a really bizarre 70s movie together, so we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, let's dive into some of the trailers that came out this week, though. So we got kick things off. We got the second trailer, but I think it's the first full trailer for Extraction 2, which is coming next month on Netflix. Sequel, obviously, to the Chris Hemsworth 2020 action movie. Like the one good thing about year 2020 was that Extraction came out.
Yeah, that was the sort of like apology from Netflix movie.
Yeah. It's like forget about everything going on for like an hour and a half and watch Chris Hemsworth just like blow people up and like these awesome like one take action sequences. And yeah, it just seems like Extraction 2 just like everything's bigger, everything like crazier action. Apparently, I think Chris Hemsworth mentioned it when the trailer came out. There's a sequence in this movie that's like a 21-minute long one take sequence. Which, I mean, there's been like entire movies that have been one take, like Scott Adkins made that movie like one shot, but like I mean, I think like the level of like choreography and like crazy like stuff going on in Extraction 2 is probably going to be like I can't even imagine what the scene's going to be. I mean, I wonder if it's that prison scene because they keep like hyping up that like that prison riot scene that seems like it's going to be like the big like centerpiece one shot kind of thing.
No, I think it's this train piece that they
train. I mean
now.
That also seems like definitely like a one take, and that also looks insane. Of like people like guys landing on the roof of the helicopter, landing helicopter on a train, and then going into the train. And then Chris Hemsworth fighting him in the train.
You think it was cheaper for Chris Hemsworth to like blow up a real helicopter than it was to CGI that?
Yeah.
Like they did the math, and they decided it's just cheaper to do it that way.
The Tom Cruise school of action. Like just risk your life and like crazy over the top action sequences.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it if you get the cool shot, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it looks awesome. And it also like their explanation for like how Chris Hemsworth's still alive is like fine. Like it's like, oh, you barely survived, but you survived, so it's like, all right, that's fine.
Oh yeah. I was wondering if we're really going to focus in on how he miracled his way through a neck shot bullet.
Yeah.
Like, he got hit with a sniper rifle, and he shrugged it off somehow. Like, it wasn't something too crazy where they froze him and brought him back to life or something. You know, like they didn't do any pseudoscience. It seems like whatever's in that Indian River is like life-healing properties, because it seems like Chris Hemsworth is like a super soldier now.
Yeah, he could like lay his arm on fire and punch people with it. But yeah, Sam Hargrave is back to direct it. Olga Kurylenko and Daniel Bernhardt are joining the cast, and then Golshifta Farahani is back as Tyler Rake's partner Nick Khan, and they have a new teammate Adam Bessa as Yaz Khan. So I'm assuming that's like Nick Khan's brother or husband or something, or somehow related. And yeah, so yeah, Extraction 2 is gonna be June 16th on Netflix, so definitely excited for that one. And then speaking of insane, death-defying stunts, we also got the full trailer for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, which I believe is also in June. Oh no, it's in July. But yeah, what I like about the trailer, like this one is like we still have no idea what the hell the actual plot is. There's just like some vague like new evil group and then globetrotting around the world, and like Tom Cruise death-defying stunts.
Well, from what I can understand, it seems like there's a AI that is predicting the future.
Well, the plot detail that, or description they have put out is like there's like a deadly new weapon, and then they have to like the INF team has to like stop it from falling in the wrong hands. Then there's like dark forces from Ethan's past coming to like they're coming back to threaten him or something.
I think it's a killer AI. It's pretty much Eagle Eye, because there's a shot that looks like they're in a future server room.
Yeah.
And it makes sense where they developed a rogue like calculator that is basically predicting how to destabilize the world, and then that's what he is doing. It's just like trying to stop this thing from enacting, I don't know, an Age of Ultron thing.
Or is it just like a like Fast and Furious, like this thing can this thing can take over every piece of technology in the planet? Like,
I don't think it's a hacking thing, because that was sort of done in other movies, like the Knock List, the Rabbit's Foot. They're very, and then whatever.
The Rabbit's Foot, even though they never explained what it actually was, I feel like that was like a biological weapon or something.
Was it?
I feel like because they never explained what it was. It was just like it's the Rabbit's Foot. It's like, but it was in like a canister, so it felt like that was
I totally forgot what the MacGuffin was.
Yeah, it was like this. It was a canister they never opened or explained what the hell it was. But like, I think the implication was that it was some sort of like crazy bioweapon that like folks were having wanted. And then last couple has been like, you know, like nuclear weapons, and like, you know, like Rogue Nation was like the network of like evil spies. And
okay, so, but I feel like having a super weapon that can hack everything is not enough by today's standards, because I feel like that's been overdone. But having an AI system that they built, and now it's like leading a certain group that it selected to do its bidding, sounds more chaotic.
There's that Peacock show, Mrs. Davis. That's like that, where it's like there's an AI that's like controlling people and like telling them what to do.
That's what that is. Yeah,
and then there's like Betty Gilpin's like the nun who's like trying to, it's like the AI tells her like go find like the like Holy Grail or something. I've heard it's really weird, but like it's like the whole premise is like there's like Mrs. Davis is like this AI that like can like knows everything about everyone, so that's how it's able to like manipulate people to like do whatever it wants.
It knows all the weaknesses.
And that was also like Westworld, like the last two seasons of Westworld too, was like there was like the AI that like predicted people, could predict like people's like Aaron Paul, like there was like, oh, you have like an 80% chance of like committing suicide, so we're not gonna give you any sort of like social class, like you're just like a construction worker, and then because we don't think you're gonna be around, I predict you're not gonna be around for like much longer. So
damn. Well, that's why I feel like that's what it's going for. It's that AI is an enemy if we let it be uncontrolled, and Ethan Hunt is going to be doing something to it.
Yeah.
And as I say, I think because the way the trailer shot and the dialogue, it makes sense that Ethan Hunt is sort of like the most ideal to fight this machine. So in order to stop it, it puts a bunch of BS on him that makes him a rogue agent or something want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me is like a fun idea. Because was every second movie he's always like a rogue agent.
Yeah.
So we're back to that formula.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind when he basically has the backing of every agency, or like he sort of doesn't have to struggle to get things approved. He just does it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm saying. Like the AI is the only thing that makes sense, where a bunch of emails and documents show up, and that's what it's like. Okay, I got this message. It's like the failure in communication, and it's like because he's just like, you know, doesn't listen to anyone. He's the best one to do this. It's like cutting through the red tape by throwing a motorcycle off a mountaintop.
Yeah.
I bet the AI couldn't predict that.
Well, and then the main team is back. So like Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Haley Atwell is joining the team, looks like, and then Asai Morales and Pom Clemente for like the main villains. And Henry Czerny's back from the very first Kit Ridge from the first Mission Impossible movie is back.
What's he been up to? Hanging out with Lawrence Fishburne?
He was in Henry Czerny's like been in a bunch of stuff recently. Like he was in Scream 6 recently. So
well, I'm talking about in the
what the hell's Kit Ridge been doing? Yeah, like because like I think wasn't he like the director of IMF in like the first movie or something? And then we've had like Lawrence Fishburne and Alec Baldwin since then.
I get Anthony Hopkins because he didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
he just hung out.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely think Kittredge was the more CIA base, and he was more hands-on interrogation. Especially when he met Ethan at that cafe in Paris.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was sort of like, all right, you like even Rogue Nation, Alec Baldwin wasn't the boss. The IMF boss was that like another IMF boss, the one that was in the car that got shot up?
I think there was like some random one that like no one cared about.
Now, we're always obsessed about like the world building of the IMF because it's so random. And if you think about number 3, when they had that whole building and the network and the training, and then it's very organized.
It's a little. The first 3 are kind of like very splintered, and then starting with like 4, and then especially like the last couple, because it's been the same director, Christopher McQuarrie, every time. So like they've really like focused in on like story and stuff in the last couple ones. But yeah, if you go back to like 1 and 2 and 3, it's like they're like it's like totally different feels, totally different like 2 is like just like Tom Cruise by himself, basically. There's no team almost, and then like
that's why we're really surprised that there was like a support group.
Yeah.
Or like in number 3 at least, where there was multiple teams or multiple divisions.
Yeah. Because that was the one where like Kerry Russell, and she got her head like her brain disintegrated in the beginning of it. Yeah. But I mean, it looks awesome. I mean, it looks action-wise. I mean, yeah, that motorcycle stunt looks insane. Like they're fighting on top of a train. Like Rebecca Ferguson and Simon Morales are gonna like samurai fight each other with swords, and there's that like whatever that desert scene is where like Rebecca Ferguson's like sniping people, and yeah, I mean, it looks crazy. And yeah, that's be July 12th, so definitely excited for that one. And then we also got the first trailer this week for the new Martin Scorsese movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is based on a non-fiction book of the same name, and it is based on a true story. It is set in the 1920s, and the Osage Native American tribe in Oklahoma, basically, they became extremely wealthy because they discovered oil on their lands, but then there was like a serial killer was like killing them all, or like killing like a bunch of like prominent members of their tribe. And then it was like one of the first big like FBI cases, like because this is like very beginning of the FBI, so this is like one of their first big cases that they investigated.
When the FBI just became like a bigger thing.
Yeah, it was like it's like 29-year-old J. Edgar Hoover is involved in it and stuff. So like super early FBI, and like their first kind of big like serial killer like major crime
like nation crime. So that's interesting. I never heard of this. This seems like a cool concept. But I also feel like this would have been better as a TV show, just so it could really take its pace.
Well, I mean, it's 3.5 hours long, so I mean, it could have been like a 4-episode long TV show or something, but
miniseries. Yeah, all these I appreciate murder mystery shows that don't try to rush it in all one big episodic thing. I mean, not even episodic, just one giant like go. It's all like, how many days have gone by? It's only been 2 days. It's like, no, it's been a month. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, this definitely could have been like the Under the Banner of Heaven, like that, like the Andrew Garfield like Mormon true crime show.
Oh yeah. It has the same vibe of slow burn mystery where they leave like crumbs of clues instead of just big like plot twist.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be 1 3.5 hour long movie. So yeah, Martin Scorsese's definitely just he has no limits now. Like he just can do whatever he wants. There's no time limit. There's no restrictions. This is gonna be an Apple TV Plus. It's gonna be Paramount's putting it out in theaters. But then Apple TV Plus is gonna have it streaming after the theatrical run. So kind of like a mixed kind of like. Cause I don't think it's gonna end up on Paramount Plus. Cause like even though like Paramount's doing like the theatrical release. And Scorsese, he has his two main collaborators are with him. So he's got Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio are both co-starring in this movie, and also Brendan Fraser, Jesse Plemons, Lily Gladstone, John Lithgow, like all-star cast. Definitely looks like an interesting kind of like true crime, period movie. And that's gonna October is gonna hit theaters. Then sometime after that, maybe a couple months after that, it'll be on Apple TV Plus. And we also got the teaser trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which is a Universal Blumhouse collaboration. So yeah, short teaser. Hopefully, we'll probably get a full trailer sometime maybe like next month or two here. But first taste of what the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is going to be like, and it seems like they're nailing the look of Five Nights at Freddy's. The robots look really good, and like they're practical, and
I know I kind of thought that would be cartoon CGI monsters.
And I think it's based on the first game, and then Josh Hutcherson is going to be like the security guard who's kind of like supposed to like keep watch over Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and like then the horrible robot madness happens to him.
Yeah, I mean, they've tried to make this concept a few times, not under the Five Nights at Freddy's, but just like other things.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland, the Banana Splits movie. And this is going to be a theatrical and Peacock hybrid release. So you can either go in theaters and see it or watch it on Peacock on October 27th.
To be honest, I'll probably watch it on Peacock because there's no way I'm going to go to a theater full of kids.
Yeah.
Just parents who don't understand. Is this rated R or PG-13?
I think it's going to be like full R, like full like horror.
Wow. Yeah, there's going to be some parents who just, video game movie, whatever, just bring your kids and then get mad when it's like upsetting for them. Though you don't really see blood in the game.
No. Well, I don't think it's officially gotten its like rating yet. So that'll probably be like in like a couple months. We'll probably get like the official rating.
If it's an R, I'd be kind of like more interested.
But speaking of video games, we also got a big video game trailer this week. We got the trailer for Mortal Kombat 1, which is the latest NetherRealm Studios game. It's coming in September, and it's picking up from the end of Mortal Kombat 11, which spoilers for that. But Liu Kang became Fire God Liu Kang, and basically was able to like rebuild the entire universe. So Mortal Kombat 1 is going to take place in like this like the Liu Kang rebooted universe.
But you totally forgot about like portals.
Yeah, apparently he rebuilt the entire universe, but like was still like, we'll still have Mortal Kombat term. We'll still have like NetherRealm or Outworld's trying to invade us still. I won't fix that problem. Like, yeah.
He just did not think to stop that part.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's weird because he's supposed to be the god of all creation and time or something.
He kind of became the new Raiden, but then he also got like the control of like the hourglass that like controls time because he defeated like the elder god of time, Chronica. he basically he controls time and also like and he has like fire and like lightning powers. So he's like the most powerful elder god ever, but like he's still just like it's fine, I don't care. Shang's still be here. Like I'm sure like Shao Kahn's around somewhere too. Like a new Shao Kahn's probably running around somewhere too. So.
But the crazy thing is, in the trailer when Shang Tsung shows up and just destroys all the other fighters.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a. Is that supposed to say that those guys aren't coming back, or that like we're gonna get a redo, where after he defeats this Shang Tsung, Liu Kang just goes, okay, time to go to my sand clock and reset the time again. Let's try it again. You know, like it becomes a Groundhog's Day of him trying to prevent their deaths over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they basically said like, oh, it's in the new Liu Kang universe. And then kind of maybe implied like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are gonna be like, like allies together. And you also have like Katana and Melina and Raiden and Kung Lao and Johnny Cage, although which like I don't know how Johnny Cage is gonna be around because it seems like this game is also taking place like in like the early part of like the like new universe, like the ancient part of so like I don't know how Johnny Cage is gonna be there, but the big reveal or like big news, it wasn't in the trailer, but like it was like news around the trailer, was that one of the like DLC skins for Johnny Cage is gonna be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Whoa.
So finally, we have come full circle. The promise is fulfilled because the original Mortal Kombat was if you knew, was supposed to be a Bloodsport game originally, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then it turned into Mortal Kombat. But yeah, so yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme will finally play the character that he was supposed to play in the original Mortal Kombat.
But I don't think it was his fault that he wasn't in that game. I think it was just like a licensing issue.
Yeah,
right?
Something with something. Yeah, they didn't want to license Bloodsport, or like something happened there, and then they made their own original thing that obviously has endured for decades.
I feel like this could be the last Mortal Kombat because they finally got what they set out to try to do the first time.
Yeah,
and now they're done.
And there's gonna be other cameos characters as well in the DLC. Although they haven't really said who's gonna show up, but like they've already had like so many other like movie characters. Like I don't know who else is left to like show up in like Mortal Kombat. Because in Terminator, RoboCop, like Freddy Krueger, was it Jason in one, right?
Yeah, Jason was one of them.
Yeah, like
the Predator.
Leatherface was Leatherface one?
The Leatherface was in one.
Yeah. The Ninja Turtles, although the Ninja Turtles were Injustice, but that's the same studio. But was it Spawn?
Yep, he was in the last one.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like who's left? I mean,
just I don't
John
know.
Wick, like,
yeah, I could see John Wick. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
I also think maybe they'll dig even deeper and just bring in like I don't know, like cartoon characters where it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, they brought Garfield? Yeah, Garfield's in Mortal Kombat.
Or it's like just super deep cut like 80s horror like characters like Pumpkinhead or something. Like
or like the Tingler, just like
yeah.
What? Some like 1930s urban legend monster they're just throwing in, like the Jersey Devil.
It's Jack the Ripper. Like
hey, that's license free.
Spring Heel Jack. Like
oh, it's the Scranton Strangler.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably find out more closer to the release. Who else might show up? But so Mortal Kombat 1's coming out September 19th. It's going to be on PS5, Xbox Series SX, PC, and Switch. So yeah, definitely interested to see more of Mortal Kombat 1 as we get closer to the release date. Like who's showing up. More character. I think there's also they said 6 more characters they haven't showed yet. So along with like the ones they showed in the trailer. So lots more to come for Mortal Kombat 1. And actually, speaking of games, we also got a trailer / news this week for Dead by Daylight, which is another game. Speaking of like games that have like cameo characters, like Dead by Daylight has had like a ton of cameos from like horror icons over its like lifetime, and they are getting their next kind of big cameo character is Nicolas Cage playing himself.
Exciting.
So like I don't know if he's gonna be like a killer or survivor or just like some sort of other character, but like
I could see him being a deranged version of himself where something went wrong and now he's stalking people. And that is something up his alley where it's just bizarre and he has a Cage freak out and he just knows his brand now. Like I would want to play against him more than play as him.
Yeah.
But I understand if they did it like a quick, hey, he's in it. He's just like he's Nick Cage. He got sucked into like a horror situation. Let's see how he handles himself. I'm fine with that too.
Yeah. I mean, playing as Nicolas Cage, like killing people. I mean, that'd be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nicolas Cage just hanging people on hooks. If he's one of the killers, so you have to like figure out what his powers are too. Like it'd be awesome if he had like powers from like some of his movies. Like if he like pulled out like the Mandy like giant axe or something, or like face off like he could like dual wield guns or something, or he turned into a vampire or something. Like
I'm fine with that because that is on brand with him.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got a teaser, like voiced over by Nicolas Cage. We got to see like CG Nicolas Cage. Apparently, there's gonna be more news on July 5th. So like 2 months from now, we'll get some more info about what this actually is. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he actually can do with Nicolas Cage and possibly like play as him. Or try to survive him.
Yeah. I just want to know if it's weird because out of all the characters, he's the only one that's really grounded. Everyone else is based on something else, or they're fiction characters.
Yeah.
This is the weird. All right, we're gonna start slowly introduce Nick Cage into things era that I'm all for. Let's bring him into other things now.
Yeah.
It's like he had a choice. He might have a choice to be, hey, do you want to be in Call of Duty or Dead by Daylight?
Yeah. I think he needs like a full just like a third person action game or something. Like he's like a wheelman or like a remember that era where it was just like
it was
the
late 90s, early 2000s where movie stars needed a side gig, so they
the Stranglehold, like the hard boiled sequel.
Awesome.
Well, Stranglehold was great. But yeah, there's Wheelman, the Spy Hunter sequel with The Rock. There was
they just unnecessarily insert a movie star into this game to help publicity.
Yeah.
So I recently played. We talked about the Spy Hunter game with The Rock in it.
Yeah.
I watched a review or something about it, and there's way more on the foot missions in that game than I thought.
Yes.
It's not just as you play as The Rock in a car. It's like he gets out of the car and does his own stealth missions and then gets back in his car.
That was like one of the things that people hated so much about it. It was like, this is not Spy Hunter. Like running around and like shooting people in a terrible Gears of War knockoff is not Spy Hunter.
So at least they didn't do that. It wasn't a game where you're playing in a go-kart or something and randomly Nick Cage's head is there. It's like you get to do something with him in a 3D space.
But yeah, so we'll find out in July exactly what's going on with this Nicolas Cage stuff. And other big news, we got some huge Disney news this week. They are closing the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser in September. So it's been think it's been basically like a year.
2 years.
2 years, and it's already closing.
They spent something like $2 billion on the building, the marketing, the high acting, and the expenses, and it's not making any money.
Well, I mean, it's got to be like it's got to be the cost of going there has to be like the main reason like it did not live up to expectations, because like there's only like so many people that can pay $5,000 for 2 days to stay at a hotel.
Oh, it's $1,000 a person.
Yeah.
And then per day. So,
yeah.
And that only covers your basic food and your ticket, but you're pretty much stuck there all the time. And let alone going to Florida and stuff like that, like that doesn't even cover how much it costs to go there. So it's crazy. It's like, what is it, like if you want the full storyline experience where it's a whole cruise thing where there's a start and end to the characters, it's 5 or 6 days, and that thing is $5,000, like $6,000 after taxes. Like, if you want to understand like the whole storyline of what's going on that cruise.
No, it was only ever two. It was all of it was all. It was 2 days. It was like there was like a
sort really?
Of thing. No,
I thought it was a longer storyline.
No, it was 2 days, and I've seen videos like a couple like travel blog like YouTube channels and stuff. It's the story's always the same, but if you're an insane person went multiple times, you could like follow like different characters. Like it depends like which cast, like which like actor you talk to. Like if you start talking to like one character, you'd end up on like one path, and then you you'd see like different things. And if you talk to like another character, you like end up in like a different like if you talk to like the First Order officer that's on board, then you might end up in like doing like all this like First Order stuff. And then if you talk to the captain or like the agent for like the singer that's on board, then you might do different things and like help Chewbacca escape the ship and help Rey get on board the ship and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds cool, but yeah, the commitment in time was just always going to be against that. And then, I don't know, like, if it wasn't in Disney World, I would see if it was like some other place you went to that wasn't really bothered by the fact that you had to spend so much money to get there, and then you're surrounded in the theme park. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of distracting someone like me who already dropped this much money, and then you can't go outside because it breaks the immersion. Like, you have to do this one thing because you have to get your money's worth.
So I'm pretty sure you stayed in the hotel, and you do like all the like the activities and like the like story stuff on the hotel, but then also they have like like the food, and then like there's like the bar, and like you can play like sabacc, you can play the card game in like the bar and stuff. You had to pay for every. There's no like drink plan though. You had to pay for every drink, obviously, which is like.
Well, I think like every alcoholic thing you had to pay.
Yes.
Like, that price, you're not. I would not get drunk because you spend so much money that you just want to absorb everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like to get your money's worth.
And then one of the days, I think it's like the second day maybe. Then you get like your like excursion to Galaxy's Edge, and then you get like a shuttle to Galaxy's Edge, and then you come back. And then when
I saw the photo. Did you see photos of the shuttle?
Yeah, it's like a box truck. They like it's like a truck that you get on, and then they make the inside look like it's a Star Wars-y shuttle, and they have they pump in like there's like a Rex droid like driving it. I think like from Star Tours, like that kind of droid. But yeah, but if you like literally saw what was happening, it's like you're in like a truck just driving from like the hotel to like Galaxy's Edge.
Crazy.
And then there's like special things you can like. There's like special like missions you can do in Galaxy's Edge. You can like scan stuff or go to talk to certain people in Galaxy's Edge and like get like more storyline stuff. I heard it's like a lot of like cell phone stuff. You have to like download the app, and that's all just like tons of app stuff where it's like you're like having conversations with people on the app, and you're getting missions on the app. And
so now I know you don't really go to a lot of theme parks like that. Is that worth it to you if it was a little bit cheaper?
would be if it was just like they should have just made like a Star Wars hotel and not with not any of this like crazy like role playing stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. I agree with you. If they just did a hotel where it's themed first, and you get greeted like a Star Wars thing, I think that would have been like the step in the right direction.
Have like each floor be like a different planet or something themed. Like it's like, oh, you're on floor 3, it's Endor or something. Like
yeah, like I'm sure like if you remember this or seen it, when you go to like Star Tours,
yeah,
and they show you little clips of what the other planets like tourist destinations are like there.
mm-hmm.
That seemed like just what I want. Like it's one of those haha like, hey, I'm on a technically Star Tours is just like a Greyhound bus, you know? It's just like, hey, we're taking you around this area, okay. And it's just enough like fantasy and reality where I enjoyed it. But this, like, I think we even talked about it first was an idea. It's so much role playing. Like, you have to immerse yourself in order to get your money's worth and in order to get the storyline. Like, you can't not be into it. You know, like, it's such a commitment to not break your character and then their character.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't been in Disney in the last few years, like, it's, like, I don't know what happened, what's going on, but people are going crazy, you know, fights and just, like, tension, and then there's, like, scarcity. So I can't imagine the other group. Like, I guess when you see a lot of the bloggers, they're having, like, a better experience. But on the off day, that it's just, like, a bunch of assholes there. You know, just like, hey.
Yeah, there's got to, well, I can't even imagine, like, there wouldn't be, like, normal, like, weird, like, just, like, you know, like middle of America, like, families there, probably. It's all, like, crazy hardcore Star Wars fans. But, like, can you imagine just, like, so, like, just a random, like, family that was not into like the role playing, or just like, we're at the Star Wars hotel, like they're just like walking around with, like,
that has to happen, like, you know, like that had to have happened enough where they sort of had to prep everything and get that ready. Like, you can't, you know what I mean, like it's always gonna be a possibility.
Yeah,
but I think basically by now they ironed it out where if that possibility isn't there to get the suckers money, like to get their cash and not put like on a show, there's not enough people to make it worth it then. You know, like it's a very niche group. Think about a Renaissance fair. A Renaissance fair is kind of open to everyone, and it's just like, I don't know, 8 hours if you wanted to, but it's very like at your own pace. This hotel like excursion experience is like a super form of it. But another thing is that's why they don't have a Renaissance theme hotel. Like, you know, there's no anything beyond a 6-hour time limit that you were like living in this like fantasy thing. But I'm surprised. Like, now I think about it, maybe Zach, we should pull our money together. We should buy out their hotel and then just turn into a Renaissance theme hotel now. Like, instead of going from high sci-fi, we went to high fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, hey, do you want to spend like a few days at a medieval times where like you eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the same room like this? And then you sleep on a bed of hay? I'm surprised there's not a medieval theme hotel that is like that.
I wonder if like Universal's like waiting to see what happened with this, because like they could make a Harry Potter like hotel like that and like make like billions.
They would have made a lot of money, but I think Harry Potter is a lot easier entryway if they treat it that everyone there is like a first-year student and it's like we're showing you tricks and one day you'll get magical powers. That's fine. Star Wars, I think, is way more of a higher concept where there's political intrigue, there's rebellions, there's a like fascist army, there's spies, there's smugglers. You know, there's so much more, and it's more well known. So there's gonna be like intense people. If you think, again, the crazy thing is if they lowered that price point so that anyone could just go to Star Wars, it would be a shit show, right?
Yeah.
Any kind of person that just basically saw one of the movies decided to go because it's only like $200 a day.
Like dads just be like in like the bar, be like, y'all got Bud Light or like, y'all got like Miller Light or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, just I got Bud with that. I'm sick of this green drinks over here. You know? And then just like.
And then like my kids don't like the food. You have like macaroni and cheese or
you got chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just be like. right next to that person who's been waiting all their life for this kind of LARPing experience, and it's just being shat on by like non-fans,
Yeah.
or like again, I have memories of going to Disney World, and it's just like, oh, look, a little bit of character interactions, and then a line cues, and there's always someone who doesn't understand that etiquette of just wait your turn, and so they just rush to the front, and there's just a mob, you know? Think Comic-Con, Zach. Think like
Yeah.
how nerdy that is, and now try to cram that into a hotel. Like, just I can't imagine what kind of like bonker people that is just gonna be there, just like writing things that shouldn't be written on, like spilling things and just like putting stickers on stuff like that. That would have been chaos. Like it's like a no-win situation, and yeah, like we're losing this building that was just too good to be true. But I think like the concept was fine if it was on an actual cruise ship or something, you know, like. I just think it being part of Disney World was the Achilles heel.
Well, and the price. I mean, the price is.
Oh
like,
no, the price is ridiculous.
Absurd. Yeah.
But but how much money has to go into everything to power and then to turn like all the lights and pay the actors? Like,
Yeah.
I also don't want like a Star Wars actor who's getting paid below the minimum wage who is not going to put on a performance. Can you imagine that? There's like some like angry teen who's playing like I don't know, like a smuggler character, and just like halfway through the performance, they're like, I'm not getting paid enough for this. I'm out of here. Yeah. Here's the code. Where's your app?
Mm.
You know what? You know what the spoiler is? Vader's behind this door. Bye.
But yeah. So but yeah, they're booking the last run of the hotel is gonna be September 28th to the 30th, and then they're shutting the doors. They haven't said they're gonna like do something else with that building, so that's gonna be like that'd be like crazy, like just like loss of like they put some like however they put in that building of like, and it's closed. We're just gonna wall it off and no
know.
there.
We're just gonna build something on top of it.
Yeah, or bulldoze it or something like.
It's such a crazy waste because I feel like they could have filmed something there. They could have done an episode of Mando in there.
You could have it just be like a some sort of like attraction, or like a. I mean, you could pay like a little extra, not like $1,000, but like a little extra, and you could have like a day thing of like, oh, you go here for like 3 hours or whatever. You come in and have lunch, and then you do like a super short version of like the like experience that the hotel had or something.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense. Where it's just a small bonus to your day, and it's like, okay, well, you can't get into the main theme parks. Do you want to go to basically medieval times, but it's like Star Wars times?
Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna sleep here, you're not gonna stay there, you're there for just entertainment, and then you're gone, and then you just book sessions where instead of the 2-day story experience, it's just like everyone follows one group. It's like a murder mystery dinner. That's all they had to do. I mean, that's how you can do it. Again, there was no. It's weird because there were so many examples that me and you were just listing as what they could have done as a prototype, but they went hardcore into the let's make people sleep around this entertainment.
So, other news. We got some news about I think two of our favorite action stars, Scott Adkins and Marco Zaror. They're gonna co-star in a new movie coming up called Diablo. Not the game, just it's called it's just called it's a totally unrelated Diablo. But they were obviously in John Wick Chapter 4 together. I mean, they didn't have any scenes together, but they were both in that movie. And they were both in Savage Dog a couple years ago, which was like one of the best recent Scott Adkins movies. And it's gonna be another Ernesto Diaz Espinosa, who's directed like two of the recent like Marco Zaror movies, like Fist of the Condor and Redeemer. Is directing this one. And Scott Adkins is going to play a guy named Chris Cheney who gets released from prison. He gets forced into like doing this job to like kidnap the daughter of like a powerful gangster, and then that like gangster sends like a bunch of like killers after him, including Marco Zor.
Oh, so they're just like opposing. They're not teaming up.
Yeah, which I mean, hopefully that means we're gonna get like an awesome, at least one awesome like Scott Adkins and Marco Zor fight.
I just think that's a TV show.
Well, no, it's a movie.
Oh.
And yeah, they're filming it. They're gonna shoot it later this year, and then yeah, hopefully it'll be out like maybe like late this year or next year. Yeah, I think you and I, Chris, like whatever Scott, like if Scott gets in something, we're definitely gonna check it out, or like we're definitely interested in it. And if you haven't seen Savage Dog yet, like go check that out, because like those two, like they have like a crazy like that movie's like super awesome, brutal. Like they have an awesome fight in that movie. This is definitely one of the best like Scott Adkins like within like last couple of years movies. It's also nice to see Marco Zor getting better movies, but then like the one I reviewed for our site, like what the hell? I totally forget what it's even called. It was like where he was like he basically got turned like a Universal Soldier. Invincible. That was not good.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
But I feel like that was like a COVID movie. Like they shot it during COVID and they couldn't really do anything. So. But I mean, he was like Marco Zor he was awesome in John Wick. I've heard Fist of the Condor is pretty awesome. So, and yeah, those two up against each other should be pretty cool. So, and then last bit of news for this week is we got news about a bunch of TV shows coming back. Quite a few reality shows are just like kind of like not I think probably related to the writer's strike. Like there people are trying to like all the networks all trying to get like stuff that maybe they don't need to like have that can be like strike proof and like just get out there like. But like same thing happened in like 2007 when that writer's strike where it was like we just got like endless reality TV. So we're getting like a lot of like reality TV coming back. One of those shows being Kitchen Nightmares is coming back after a decade away.
I didn't know it was a decade.
Yeah. The last episode aired in 2014, and but yeah, it's coming back. Gordon Ramsay going to more restaurants and yelling at people and calling them panini heads and ding dongs or whatever. And it's going to be Gordon Ramsay's his actual production company, Studio Ramsay, is going to produce it. I think the issue with the original run of Kitchen Nightmares was that his company, he didn't have it was a different production company, and like there were some issues like they weren't getting like some of the rights or like the pay like the it was some sort of like disagreement between like Gordon Ramsay and like the production company, because he didn't like it wasn't one he like ran or like had anything to do with, and then that's why the original show failed, and then we got like all the other yeah all the Master Chefs and Hell's Kitchen and what's the new one, like Next Level Chef or something. It
was like Kid Chef, all those kind of things. Wait, is Chop still around?
I think Chop is still around.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't really follow like reality cooking shows like that so much, but yeah, I always wonder why there was a boom of that from 2008. Right, it was like 2008, 2010, the birth of the trash reality TV show.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the funny thing, I don't know if it had any like impact on it coming back, but like the Kitchen Nightmares YouTube channel is like still like super active, even though the show there hasn't been a new episode of the show in like 10 years. Like the YouTube channel still puts out like a clip compilation like every week. They are like live broadcasting clips. Like it's become like, and it's become like kind of this like cult, like kind of YouTube meme channel where it's like every title is just like a crazy meme. Like whoever's like running that channel still is like putting out these like ridiculous like meme titles in every video.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was still alive, because I definitely stumbled on that YouTube page.
They just show the same clips over and over again, but like everyone just keeps watching them because it's just like, oh yeah, they just like put them in a different order. It's like, oh yeah, I'll watch this. They're a slightly different order. I'll watch this again. I'll watch the same like 5 clips of Gordon like going to like disgusting, like putting his hands in like disgusting, slimy, like whatever is in the fridge. But yeah, so yeah, Kitchen Nightmares will be back on Fox sometime in the near future here. And then we're also getting a reboot of the Joe Schmo Show, which a lot of people have been talking about recently because that show Jury Duty came out on Freevee. That was basically like the Joe Schmo Show, but like in like there was one guy who was on this jury duty, but then everyone else in the show was an actor, including James Marsden playing himself. And so a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is like the Joe Schmo Show." So Warner Bros. Discovery is bringing it back on TBS. So we're getting a new Joe Schmo Show. Same premise as the original. It's like one guy is on a reality show, but the reality show is fake, and he's the only person who doesn't really know it's fake, and everyone else is like an actor. And it's all it's all scripted. It's all like designed to just trick this like one guy.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it needed a whole TV show. I feel like that's just like a YouTube prank by today's standards.
Yeah. Wasn't the original like a Spike? Was that when Spike first launched? Wasn't that like a the big like one of their first like big shows?
Either it was Spike or it was Fox that Joe Schmo came out on.
Oh no, yeah, it was Spike, yeah.
Wait, is Spike TV around, or
it's
FX?
It's Paramount Network now.
Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot what like Spike morphed out of, because it just had anything it can grab its hands on.
Yeah, and then the first season was a just like a normal kind of like reality show, like competition show, and then the second season was it was like a parody of like a dating show, but like it was still like still the same premise of like everyone was an actor except for one guy. So yeah, so that's coming back on TBS. And then we're also coming back to TBS is Dinner and a Movie. I don't know if people remember that from back in the day. It's been 12 years since that's been a thing. But yeah, that's coming back.
I remember that.
So this was like TBS when they air it'd be Dinner and a Movie. They would air like a movie, and then it would be like two hosts hosting it, and then they would. During the movie, they'd show you how to cook like some sort of like dinner that goes along with the movie, or like
I think
theater around the movie or something.
The whole episode. What?
Well, it was a dinner that was like themed around the movie, or like it was like a pun based on the movie, like.
Yeah. But it took like the whole episode to get the whole recipe.
Yeah.
Which is annoying, because if you're looking to actually learn to cook, it's pretty much the worst way to cook, because it's. Like, I remember, like, watching it going, oh, that sounds interesting. And then, like, I missed something, and then it's like, well, I don't know how they did this anymore. You know? And then you're like, well, I'll come back after the commercial, after this kind of new commercial within it. Because it's like, oh, hey, like, because they don't go back and explain steps. They just like, all right, well, here it is. That's why, thank God for the internet and for, like, recipe breakdowns. Because if I was one of those people, like, our parents was that generation that they had to like whip out a VHS, record that scene, because if this recipe goes away, they're not gonna find it for months, if that. They have to remember the time, the date, and that like the episode, just to figure out like a pastry recipe. Yeah, I think that they cooked like a full course meal, but they broke it up between segments. So whatever commercial break there was, they would do it. I'm also thinking it has to be dinner movies weren't like action packed, right? Like they were kind of like family friendly, or they were like sloppy romance movies.
I feel like there's like a lot of like romantic comedies for dinner movie. The Deadline article that like I'm looking at that like now it's when it's coming back. They mentioned like when they showed like Drumline, and then they had the dinner the dish they made was like the beats go on, and it was like obviously a beat based dish. And no, they haven't announced who's going to host it. Is basically there's going to be two hosts, two celebrity hosts and the chef, for this new version. And then same format. They're going to the TBS will show a movie, and then they'll like every commercial or they'll cut out to like these host segments, and they'll like comment on the movie, and then go through making whatever food item they're making that's like tied to the movie. And and nowhere when it's gonna start on TBS, but sometime in the near future, TBS will be showing up. Which I think didn't they get rid of all like the like scripted shows on TBS? Like there's no like original like comedy shows anymore. It's just like it's just gonna be like also like reality shows or like some sort of like...
Yeah. TBS really was dumping out everything that required, I guess, like a budget, and
I think TBS and TNT, they're like, well, yeah, there's gonna be nothing original out here anymore.
I thought it was TNT because they know drama.
Well, because TNT like they canceled like all their like there's like Snowpiercer and like Animal Kingdom and a couple other like shows that they had going on, and then they like wiped all those out at post merger. So I think TNT is gonna be like, I don't remember what they're gonna like. They're doing something different with both networks that is like thematically like I think they're keeping like the TBS comedy, TNT like action drama kind of thing, but like it's gonna be more like like airing movies or like airing like non-scripted shows or something. That's part of the whole like crazy like Warner Bros. Discovery cost cutting measures. But the last two shows that are also coming back, Showtime is apparently going to bring back Nurse Jackie and Weeds.
Like reruns, or they're just making more?
They are new like new kind of reboot like like the original cast coming back. It's gonna pick up like however many years it's been since they ended, like just continue both those shows.
Like Nurse Jackie doesn't need a one. Like I actually read the synopsis about that a few years ago, and it sounds interesting, but the whole point of Nurse Jackie was that like she was like an addict, and then she gets clean at the end because she actually gets arrested too. Like she was like caught with so much drugs and stuff, and then she like finally finds the piece that she wanted, which was like basically to get the help. And there's like, nah, bring it back.
Yeah, she relapsed. I don't know. But yeah, apparently Edie Falco is in talks to come back for Nurse Jackie. Mary Louise Parker is in talks to star again in the Weeds sequel series. So, and then apparently like the Weeds show might pick up like 10 years after the original series, and then it's like and then like they have to like deal with like now with like marijuana is legal now, so like how do they deal with that?
Well, probably just dealing with like legalization and probably
try to get like
go legit.
Yeah, try to go legit, or like try like get like the license or something.
I could see that. It's a different story. It's not as crazy where I think what is it like? She went into the drug business because she was getting divorced or something, or her husband died.
Yeah, I never saw Weed, so I don't know.
I've seen bits, and then it's like, oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in it for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think like her husband died, and then she was just desperate to get a career.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is also before Breaking Bad.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So her going to the drug business, she went for a very like simple drug, sort of. Now it's even crazier. It's like, I'm getting the legal drug business. Like, what are you making? It's like weed. Like, what?
Well, I think it started like 3 years before Breaking Bad, and then it like ended like the year before Breaking Bad ended. So they were like
Oh, really?
they were
It
like
was
they were
longer
they were
than
like
Breaking Bad.
they were like concurrent for like a couple years, like 5 years, 6 years. But yeah, but apparently those are both coming to Showtime, possible like in the near future here, which I think that also means they'd end up on Paramount Plus because it's Paramount with Showtime now. So and yeah, so that's those four shows are coming back, but possibly more. Like who knows what's gonna happen with this like insane writer's strike that could go on for like months. uh, Probably like a lot of like a lot of reality shows are on the way probably, and then yeah, just like whatever these networks can do that like doesn't involve like like the Writers Guild are coming. I think the CW is like buying like just like a ton of like already completed like Canadian shows. And that's gonna be like their fall lineup. Like we got all these Canadian shows that are like they have like two or three seasons already in the pipe.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not just importing more Korean shows to sort of backlog a schedule where,
Yeah.
like, oh, they, in a scummy move, I could see them doing that to just have things on that's new or new to America. It's like, hey, we bought the rights to, I don't know, Korea's version of Degrassi. And then that's just on, like, CBS.
Mm-hmm.
Though, this affects, like, every entertainment thing. So, like, even streaming shows are having problems then, right?
Oh yeah, everything's shut down. Like if anything that wasn't finished is not is nothing's happening on them right now. Like Stranger Things is production stopped. Like Cobra Kai production stopped. Andor production stopped. Like if there's like movies being written, those are like not being written right now. So
You mean to tell me, Zach, there's a chance me and you could be scabs, and we can make our own TV show to start pitching and making on a budget?
we can we use Chat GPT. That's one of the that's one of the like things that like the Writers Guild wants is like a guarantee they're not going to use like AI to like write things.
Yeah.
And the studios came back. The studios came back. We're like, we will have an annual talk about technology once a year. Like that was like they're like compromised for like tell us like we don't want you to use AI. Like all right, we'll talk about it once a year. We'll talk about where AI is. So yeah, that's a mess. It's gonna be a mess for a long time probably. So yeah, like this year we probably won't feel it too bad. Like there's like a ton of stuff that is completed that we're seeing coming out. Next year is gonna be probably so like either like a desert of nothing coming out or like just a lot of like yeah reality show weird like imports like who knows what.
Just no more reality TV show. Yeah, I know it's like really profitable, but goddamn, do I just hate the concept of more reality TV shows.
Well, the thing with those is like, it's like you don't have to like technically.
There's no writers.
There's no writers. So.
But because of that, I can see them doing something dumb where it's just like, all right, we're just gonna like, what's that Rock show where it's like, can you handle being like The Rock or like a stuntman like The Rock? There's like 3 shows that I vaguely remember where one of them was like, we're gonna turn you into like action like heroes or stuntmen. Then The Rock was like, can you like live my life being The Rock, like doing all this?
I remember Dolph Lundgren hosted this show on Reels channel. That was like it was kind of like Fear Factor, but like it was like having people like recreate like movie scenes, like movie stunts and stuff. But it was like, oh, you gotta like you gotta hang out the back of this truck, like. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just see what we get in like next like later this year and then to next year. But that's gonna do it for news this week. So I jump into show and tell. And Chris, you and I saw the crazy 70s horror movie, Fangs,
AKA Snakes,
AKA Holy Wednesday.
Holy Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in person together because we went to Retro Game Con Junior in Syracuse, New York last weekend. And but yeah, so we were in the same place. We watched Fangs on Shudder. We were like scrolling through Shudder looking for something to watch. And first of all, Shudder needs to rewrite the description because the description has nothing. The description is completely wrong and is not describes the movie at all. Because
the description describes something way more exciting about something. Like it caught our attention. It caught my attention, and I was looking forward to it. So yeah, you want to go on and explain that? Yeah.
So the description for Fangs on Shudder says a crazy a crazy old coot looking for revenge mails snakes to people to kill them. And then we're like, oh man, this guy's gonna mail snakes to people, and then people are gonna open boxes of snakes.
Let's watch this man mail snakes, like live snakes in the 70s. Like I that concept alone, I think I laughed for like a few minutes, and then I was like, let's do this. Like I'm excited. Let's not see the trailer because I don't think Shudder even had the trailer. And it was just like, let's pull the trigger. Let's just like go into this with no knowledge. And my God, it was everything and more of just not knowing anything about this movie.
It was very 70s, like based on some of the other like just like bizarre 70s, like mostly from Sunrise Theater, like Touch of Satan and like some of these other like 70s movies. It definitely felt like that, like the like pacing of it and like the weird tone was it was definitely like in that vein of like just some people were just smoking like whatever, like they're smoking tons of pot or like who knows what, like on whatever drugs, and we're like, yeah, whoever they got this decided to make this movie was like, yeah, I know a guy who has like 50 snakes who could like just make a movie about snakes, I guess. Like,
oh, and props to some of these actors who aren't like snake handlers in their real life, so they're just calm playing with snakes.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely real snakes at times. Like I don't know if they like sedated them or like what they were, if they just like were, tame snakes. I don't know if you can tame snakes, but like it was definitely like people were getting like live snakes tossed at them at certain points.
I get like, these aren't real poisonous snakes. They, that would be a crazy thing. But it's not like a thing you see in most movies. Just like, hey, can you act? Yeah, I can act. Like, okay, can you also like hold these snakes? Like, what? Like, you'll be holding an uncomfortable amount of snakes during this movie. You okay with that? And considering that, like, there really isn't anyone we know by today's standard of being famous.
Yeah.
We didn't know who was the main hero, who was the villain, until like the first 20 minutes or so, or maybe less, because it was something like we didn't understand anything was going on, and as soon as we established the main character / villain, we're like, this is our this is who we're following. Because again, cover does not show you any. Like even from the Shudder version of the cover, there is just a picture of a snake, right? There's no human character.
It's like a van, like a 70s van drawing of like a cobra. There's not even a cobra in the movie, is there?
Oh.
No, it's all like there's like a boa constrictor and then like poisonous like snakes.
Coral.
Yeah.
Coral color, like when you expect a snake from like a tropical climate, not the desert. There's no was there a rattlesnake?
I think there might have been rattlesnakes. Yeah.
I don't think they could afford like a real rattlesnake. But,
or it was a snake. They someone like shook a rattle, but they never showed the tail or something. Just to make it like it's a rattlesnake. Like.
But this movie was interesting just because I think the perfect viewing is just someone telling you the vaguest description and just saying buckle up. You'll never predict anywhere this movie goes.
Yeah.
And so I really don't want to ruin it because I kind of want to show this movie again to more people, and the world needs to see it. But they should see it with just like an understanding that it's about an old man who goes snake crazy to his tormentors. But it's like they're not really all tormentors. Like really, one pair is a real tormentor. The rest is just sort of like people doing their lives. Right?
Yeah, well, it's like the insane instant is like weird because it's like we're trying to figure out like how he makes how Snaky Bender makes his like income, and or what he does. It's like the movie only shows you what he does like almost always just like shows you what he does on like Wednesdays. Which is like a weird plot detail too. It's just every Wednesday is like. Like he does the same thing, and then it's like, but then like his routine gets like, things happen to his routine, and then like it's like, oh, I need my routine, and like,
okay, so I think that's the best way to describe it. Is that it's about a guy who has a very particular routine on a Wednesday between selling,
buying like mice and lizards from kids to like feed to his snakes.
Food shopping.
Yeah, he goes to the grocery store and then he goes to his friend's house and they listen to John Philip Sousa music and they get super drunk and march around and like listen to the entire album of John Philip Sousa, like the entire concert.
And then after that it's like seeing his like I don't even know what to describe it, but like not girlfriend, just like
no. He's basically a pimp for like his boa constrictor or something because
he just pimps out his snake.
The local school teacher has like this bizarre fetish for snakes, and then like he like Snaky goes and like lets this boa constrictor like wrap itself around her and go inside of her, maybe.
I don't know.
They don't show it, but it's
they don't show it, but it's just like heavily implied. And we're like, what is happening? Like, why is everyone in this town doing business with Snaky? And the thing is, Snaky looks like an old timey 1920s, like maybe an 18th century miner. Like he looks.
He's always dirty. Like
dirty.
He lives in
a shitmobile.
Yeah, his car literally has like no back window. Like the door is like tied on with like a wire.
And then he has a seatbelt.
No, and he lives in like an abandoned like a farm that got burned down, and then like his friend that he goes and listens to Jeff Sousa with is like that was his family farm, but he moved into town. But he's like, oh yeah, Snake, you can live in like the like abandoned ruins of my family farm that burned down. That's fine.
But the ruins look like it's something from the Hills Have Eyes. Like it's partially underground. It's got no power. We have no idea how things work in that.
Yeah, he has like a snake bunker. Like he turned like the corn silo into like a snake bunker. Like.
So there's like a whole bunch of like other things this movie could have focused in on, but the movie tries to do everything at once. And that's why it was just like, again, it's unpredictable, and
Well,
every few minutes I just remember turning to you and just going, "When's he gonna mail the snakes?"
yeah, we were both waiting for it.
The movie was so like distracting that I forgot like the description. But then when I remember during on the very few down scenes, like just nothing's going on, a lot of like driving or John Philip Sousa music.
Yeah.
I just remember going like, when's he going to the post office?
Mm-hmm.
And he never does. He never goes to the post office.
Well, also it gets into this like insane rhythm of like every like right as soon as Snakey decides to like, oh, I'm gonna start killing people with snakes, like it just gets into this rhythm of like the same thing happens every single time for like each. It's like this scene happens and this scene happens and this scene happens, and it's like that's the rest of the movie, just like these three scenes over and over and over again. Where it's just like where like is like the screen like this is like not what you do for screen. This is not how you write a movie. You don't like you build till you kind of build you like a rising in action, then like like you have like climax and stuff. This is just like it's just the same. It's just like repeating the same thing for like 5 scenes of like, and there's no climax. There's no like it's just like it's the same thing happens and then for 40 minutes and then it's over.
Yeah, it like the structure, the second act of this movie goes on for way too long. Where I think by the time they realize, oh shit, we need a third act to sort of tie it all together, that is 5 minutes left of the movie.
Well, it's just crazy that they don't deviate from the formula at all. they never do anything to change. Like they don't once they establish their formula for like how the rest of the movie's gonna go, they never deviate from it. It's just like it gets ridiculous by like the third time you're in the loop of like the scenes that happen, where it's like how many
Or Snakey lures
how
a
does this keep
person
happening?
back to his house,
yeah.
and then it's like it perfectly all goes to plan. Like it,
Yeah.
there's no weird situation that he enters that you don't feel like he's gonna get his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end, but even then, the way they do it is more like a comedy. So it kind of gets back into that dark humor where I'm fine with that because this movie is just all sorts of different vibes. However, you kind of want some closure because you don't get much at the end. Like it's sort of like, oh wait, we forgot about this one character that's just there now, and then the end. This is just how life goes, and whatever shit town this is. And yeah, like it also makes it seem like Snakey has wiped out that town by removing 6 people.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That was kind of different. Otherwise, it was pretty enjoyable. Snakey is like a very interesting character just because he's just like the town scramp that like they pushed him too far and then they charge him too much for soup.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I don't know, I enjoyed it. It's just like not what I thought it would be, and it's again, it's one of those movies that, like I definitely want people to watch, like so people need to know this movie's a thing. And then just if you tell them the plot, you told them the whole like if you tell them just like more than the synopsis, you told them the whole movie. I watched the trailer that's like online about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2.5 minutes long, 3 minutes sometimes, and it tells you the whole story. Like it even shows you clips from like the repeated loop parts. So I definitely feel like that was a grindhouse cut of the movie that they needed to play in theaters to like kill time. But essentially, you watch that trailer, you watch the whole movie.
Yeah, you definitely need to be like have like a tolerance built up for like weird, crazy movies, like
Oh, it's like an art house movie at times.
Sometimes, yeah. It's just like there's like I mean, well, I guess if you're on Shudder, I guess you like you're like into that like the crazy genre stuff. But like yeah, this is definitely not like a like I've seen like one bad movie and I'm gonna jump into Fangs. Like this is like a
yeah no, you're right. This is like a medium level bad horror movie.
You need to be like an experienced bad movie. If you
Also,
were
yeah,
to get into this, yeah.
I also could imagine watching this movie alone.
Oh my god.
Like this is definitely a movie that me and you like together with our combined movie experience, where it was like I don't know what to do in this plot. Like this is a movie that if you try to use like a chat like GBT or chat AI thing, it would not make this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like nonsense happening, and then just like how many times can you get away with this? So it becomes off very original, but it comes off very strange because there's just a lot of creative shots and music choices and just logic that they introduce. Like, if you told me from, was it like the beginning part where there's like the bumbling town sheriff who's sort of the buffoon comic relief in this, which I did not expect him to be.
Yeah.
And then the tonal shift that happens at the end where it's like, oh, now that they had their like gone in 60 seconds chase sequence, which comes out of nowhere. Like Snakey pulls like a very like not complex maneuver, but something that I did not expect him to do in his like car that I didn't think had enough gas. But it's definitely a movie that needs to be watched and shared with. And that's like my recommendation. And then like even that me and you saw it, it's like now we've got to spread the gospel of Fangs.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, definitely. I'm surprised it's not like a. Well, I guess you can. I guess you could edit it and like show it on Mr. Giant's Theater, but this feels like it should be like a more of like definitely more of like a weird cult movie or like Vinegar Syndrome should like put out a Blu-ray of this or something. Like it feels like that kind of thing where it's like, can you believe this insane 70s movie? This old character actor is like murdering people with snakes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like if it didn't have the crazy erotic scenes, and then the I don't know, like just the pacing where it could just be funny instead of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a good commentary too. But it's not terrible enough where they can just like even for us, like we weren't making fun of the limitations of the production and the setting. It's just like that's just the movie, you know.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's also like there's like a bunch of vampire movies called Fangs that like doesn't help like if you're trying to search for this movie. It's like you get a bunch of like weird like vampire movies and stuff. Other movies that are called Fangs. But if you have Shudder or I think also like AMC Plus includes Shudder, and you want to watch a weird crazy 70s movie, then yeah, definitely check out Fangs. And then I also saw this past week I watched Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, which came out on Paramount Plus this week. Yeah, didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, but yeah, watched it on Paramount Plus, and I thought it was a ton of fun. Yeah, definitely a huge step up from the 2000 Dungeons and Dragons movie. And definitely feels like they were trying to do a little bit of like kind of like it has that kind of Guardians of the Galaxy kind of style to it, where it's like this like misfit group of characters. Like it's very comedic. There's a lot of jokes and like fun little bits. It's definitely more of like it's definitely like much more of a comedy, but then it's got like like kind of like fancy action, but like comedy's like the first thing definitely for it, because like there's always like jokes or like one-liners, or people like all the characters are like commenting on what's happening. And yeah, a lot all the a lot of jokes are actually like pretty like hilarious too. There's just like right from the beginning, there's like this like great joke where like Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez are like in prison, and they're like at like their like parole hearing, and they're like constantly waiting for like this one like guy in the council to show up, Jonathan. And then it turns out Jonathan is like a giant bird man, and they make it seem like that like they're friends with Jonathan. Jonathan's gonna like be like the deciding vote to get them out of paroled out of prison. But no, it turns out they just want to like grab him and throw him out a window and like have him fly them out of this prison. It's just like a crazy just like sudden of like they just grab him and throw him out a window. And it's like okay, and then so yeah, lots of fun little beats like that, and then like lots of like fun like yeah, just like asides from like Chris Pine or something, or like just like them just like commenting on what's happening. And
so, I actually been trying to avoid YouTube on certain things because ever since that came to Paramount Plus, they're showing like the weird clips of it, like no context clips, and one of them is like Chris Pine's face. So like I know something weird's gonna happen, but because I saw that already, and it's like horrifying because it's like I don't know what's going on. I just see a thumbnail of it, and it's I know, but you know what I mean. Like it ruined it before I even saw it. And I was like, wow, like that was it wasn't quick. I feel like that would have been way faster in the day. So there's some like pumping the brakes from just spoiling shit, but
yeah,
I did not expect that.
There's a lot of like weird magic stuff going on too. So that's one of the weird magical things. There's a lot of like illusions and but also some also like really cool magic stuff. Like there's some like weird magic like that, but also like really fun like cool magic. Like, there's this whole action sequence where like Justice Smith, who's like their like sorcerer, but he's like kind of a terrible sorcerer, but he's able to like when they first like recruit him back into the group. Like he does a spell where like he like reverses gravity, and like so it's this whole like sequence where like everyone's like it's like on like the roof of this building like trying to like move through the roof of the building instead of like the floor, and then there's a part later on where like he's like fighting with like a giant like he makes a giant hand out of like sand and like it's like fighting another giant hand that like one of the like evil like wizards makes. And it's they're basically like having this like magical like arm wrestling match. And then you have like Sophia Lillis is like Doric. She's like the druid who can like transform into like other like basically any creature. And so she's like one of the things she turns into is like a giant owl bear. So she basically turns like the Hulk for the team, where she turns like an owl bear and just like starts murdering everybody. Which I mean I know some D&D stuff just from like pop culture osmosis, but like there's it definitely seems like there's like a ton of like there's like so many like the creatures and stuff from D&D. It's set in like the Forgotten Realms universe, like part of D&D, so it's like Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate and like all that stuff. Like the whole like basically like 80% of the movie takes place in like Neverwinter, which I expect like so like I knew that people they're like name dropping like space like I know that place because like that's a game like that's a video game.
Neverwinter
like,
Nights.
Yeah. And yeah, and then like Hugh Grant's great is like the main villain. Like he's just like so like he just be like Hugh Grant's just become like this like great like character actor who just shows up and just like smarmy asshole now. Like
yeah, he's playing up the fact that it's evil Hugh Grant instead of his rom-com Hugh Grant. Yeah.
So he's a ton of fun. Like he's just like constantly just like being a dick to them, and he betrayed them, and like because he was part of like their whole like heist crew, and then but then he like weaseled his way into becoming like the Lord of Neverwinter, so now he like runs Neverwinter basically. And like Regis Jean-Paul from Bridgerton is also great. Like he's not in it for like the whole movie, which I was kind of surprised about. Like he only shows up he kind of shows up in the middle for like one like main scene of like I'm gonna help you guys get this one thing this like artifact you guys need. And then but yeah, the whole sequence he's in is like great. Like he's kind of like a Drax, where he like takes everything like very literally, or like he doesn't understand like if you like make some sort of like colloquialism or like some sort of like reference, like he doesn't understand like Michelle Rodriguez is like son of a bitch, and he's like your mother was a bitch, like. And but yeah, it's a ton of fun. There's like tons of like creative like magic stuff, and like all the creatures, like there's really fun action sequences, and like super funny just like jokes throughout the whole thing. I mean, it's for the guys who made Game Night, so like I mean it's like definitely like if you like Game Night, like and like this is definitely another like fun like just like comedy from those guys. But like obviously like super way higher budget, like huge like kind of blockbuster action along with like the comedy bits.
Did you watch Vox Machina yet?
I haven't seen Vox Machina, no.
I feel like it's a good follow-up to what this is. But it's like Vox Machina is like very graphic and sexual, and
but it's also like more like it's like a humorous like D&D, but like or yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like now take the same concepts but now make it R.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good like I watched that. Like I wasn't really into D&D, but then I started watching that, and then like it started getting into it. Like I'm on the second season, but I'm taking it at my own pace. But you would like it if you like this. You would definitely be like, oh yeah, this is a good like D&D campaign, because I think it's still set in like the D&D verse or based on certain rules. But
yeah,
you can. I don't think I actually don't even know if Critical Role is official D&D or is it just like a type of D&D.
Well, all those shows like Critical Role and all that stuff, they play D&D. So they're playing D&D. There's like their selling point is like their campaign they made for D&D.
Right, but I don't think they have world building that like references anything from like the D&D main lore.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because they're playing an official, obviously they're playing official D&D, like they're like using like the D&D rule book and everything. But like their main thing is like they're coming up with like their own like original story, and they have like their original characters obviously, and then using then like creatures and stuff from like the whatever the monster manual or stuff, all that D&D stuff.
Yeah, but again, I'm not well versed enough to know the difference where it's like, oh, that's made up and that's canonical.
Yeah, definitely. If you have Paramount Plus, and you haven't seen it yet, I would say definitely check out Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I don't like. I feel like it did okay at the box office. I don't know if it's like enough to like warrant a sequel, but I would definitely be like on board for like a sequel. It's like the same crew kind of like came back and like had like a new adventure. They kind of set up a kind of like a some sort of like main villain that like might maybe like if they had a sequel it would like show up at like another movie or something, but
like a Thanos.
Yeah. But yeah, just fun, cool, like fantasy action movie with like a lot of like comedic stuff in it. So definitely worth checking out. And then that's pretty much the only other thing I saw besides Fangs. You see anything else, Chris, or no?
No, that's it.
All right, so yeah, we can wrap things up then. Head over to the site. We got all of our usual stuff up there. We've got all the trailers we talked about. We've got any sort of news. We've got Everything Action Theater. I put up the Asylum's version of Fast and Furious. If you want to watch that before you watch Fast X. The Asylum movie called 200 Miles Per Hour. That's a Fast and Furious knockoff. And we got reviews and news and all the other stuff that we put out every week. So head over and check all that stuff out. And yeah, so for Chris, I am Zach, and we will see you next week. For more Everything Action, head to www.everythingaction.com. You can also follow us on Twitter @EVAction, on Facebook by searching for Everything Action, and follow us on Instagram @everything.action.
You can also subscribe and get more episodes on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.